Hey guys, what's up? It's PyroSquid. We're going to be finding out which Overwatch 2 redesign is the best out of all of the characters. I put them all in a tier list so you can see it from the top tier of S all the way down to F. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like and subscribe for more just like this, and enjoy your day. Firstly, we have D.Va, and this was D.Va's Overwatch 1, which I actually really like. I think it's very clean. It's her style very well, very expressive of what type of character she is. While Overwatch 2, we definitely see more colors used. It feels a lot blockier and a lot more like a pretend D.Va, whereas there's something about the way that this looks, even though it's the same model, this looks less blocky for some reason. I also think this D.Va outfit is just a lot better than the Overwatch 2 one. It loses a lot of the actual charm by especially getting rid of the bunny in the middle and the mecha on the side. I just think this was a lot better, but I think this was overall quite a downgrade going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. And I would rarely ever use this model. So we're going to put that in the downgrade tier just because I think it is a negative. I wouldn't swap between them. I would just never use this version. Now we have Doomfist, original model, iconic. This is iconic. He looks great. Overwatch 2, he gets a lot more detail. I quite like the belt thing going on, the little flary stuff. I think the fist is less iconic to Overwatch, but I think it looks better. And I honestly prefer the Overwatch 2 one. And now, maybe some people, there's just something about this that just resonates with them more. But I think this is an actual upgrade. There's just more detail. There's more stuff happening. I do wish he still had the white paint. I think it's a bit weird to get rid of some of that. But overall, I think this is a slight improvement. It's not much better. It's not like it's a clear as this one. It's more of, I think this is just better. So we'll put into great improvement. Orisa, I absolutely love the Overwatch 1 model. It looks so much more like this friendly, helpful robot that also has a weapon attached to them. Do you know what I mean? I think Orisa looks more friendly and a less, terrorizing character. I don't know why. Something about it. If you use Orisa Overwatch 1 skin, it feels nicer. This just feels really odd. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot less... It just... Something about it doesn't really feel that Overwatchy. Again, it's that sort of blockier, brighter colors, whereas I think there's something about the way that this is more washed out, pastely. It fits the Numbani vibe of where she's from, and I think it makes a lot more sense, whereas this just seems too, I don't know, it looks too horsey, which is weird. I know she's like a horse thing, but this feels more like that's an actual robot, and this is like a weird robot horse. I way prefer the original version 1, just like similarly to D.Va, I just way prefer this one. So let's hop into the downgrade here. Reinhardt Overwatch 1. The helmet is just so cool. I mean, it's very, very grey, but it is just like, that's Reinhardt. I will say, Overwatch 2 has got, I like the color going on. I just think this armor looks so much less good. This armor is so much more intimidating and strong. The massive shoulder blades, whereas these ones are just kind of bulky, and this looks way more high tech, which is probably why. Because, which is meant to be the PvE in the story, we're a couple years ahead, gets more high-tech armor, whereas this feels a lot more like he is in a suit of armor. I really, really like this one. And they got rid of his helmet, which I just think is a bit whatever. I mean, I love having the hair out, the ponytail, the big mane. I think it's cool. But again, there's something about that. I think you could... I don't know. I still think this is a downgrade. I'm not trying to be overly negative. There are some good ones coming up. We just haven't had them. So that's going to go into the downgrade tier. I mean, Road Dogg's 1 original design is very obvious what, his character is. I like the fact there's a license plate as his L and is there unzipped, and, it's all a bit messy and chaotic. It really does summarize this character very well. The mask is iconic. I love the tires, the spikes, everything about it is great. This one is basically the same thing. They just kind of changed a couple of the colors around and added a couple extra details here and there. I think the general vibe is still the same. I'll check the weapon, and it's kind of the same. This for some reason just feels better though. I don't know what it is about the original weapon and hook. I don't know. But again, I think nothing about this looks that bad, and I think this works as a nice alternative. I like the little Pachimari. I think this is a good, the definition of an alternative. It, quite literally is just a different kind of skin. I don't think it loses necessarily any of the charm that the original had. And the weapon sure is different, still is good, and still looks like he would use this weapon. I don't think it makes no sense. I like the little detail at the front here. And, I prefer the old hook, but, this makes sense. it all makes sense, and I think it's a good alternative. Hence why that's going in a nice alternative. Now, I'm pretty sure that Sigma's is an astronomical flop, if I remember correctly. Overwatch 1 is so good. I think this is like one of the best Sigma skins. It's just his default Overwatch 1 skin. The details on his armor, the color scheme is just really, really nice. I like the weird helmet he's got going on. You know, black hole balls and the little chains around it. Not really chains, like little circles around his feet. It's great. I don't know what the hell this is. Look, if he's really going to be developed, you think he wouldn't still feel like he's in his old stuff? I don't know. This is just like, why did they make it white? Like, it's like the same thing. They just got rid of all the color and depth and gave him more hair. He went to Turkey. I know. I think it's a helmet. Still, I think this is the biggest downgrade in the entirety. Out of all of them, this is the absolute worst one. I might have to make a tier for the worst, but yeah, Sigma's is bad. Sigma's is really bad. Winston, I mean, again, trying to get rid of, like, the bias of nostalgia. Because this original design is so iconic and so, like, oh, that's the game. That's how I know my monkey. He's not really that different in Overwatch 2. It's just slightly darker. It's kind of the same thing. The weapon is, in my opinion, better. This one, like, again, nostalgic, but this just is a better skin. I wouldn't like to call it an upgrade, because I think it is quite literally the same thing, just slightly colored differently. There's not really much of a change, so I'd say it's an alternative. Yeah, that's going in alternative tier, definitely. Ball Overwatch 1. I love how this looks. I love how his ball looks for some reason, and the colors. It just looks really good. This just looks very complete. This looks very like, yeah, that's Wrecking Ball. It works really well. I don't like how this is. I think putting the blue on the outside and keeping the gray, it looks odd, and I think losing the orange, that kind of like orange color, is just odd. I don't think he would upgrade to this. This looks worse, if anything. And also he put a full suit on, man. I like the goggles. I like the goggles. I think the goggles are cool. And the little hair. I think he looks really cute. I think Hammond himself looks really cute. But that's a downgrade. I'm sorry. That is a downgrade if I've ever seen one. That's going there. Like, he just is. It's a high downgrade, though, because I think Hammond himself looks better. But still a negative. I love Overwatch 1's Zarya's design so much. Like, this is just kind of difficult when you have a design that's so perfect. I don't think you can really get much better. This is like the perfect mix of someone who, you know, bulky weightlifter, but also in like an armored suit. Also looks like someone that would use a high-tech weapon. Like, you can almost already see that. There's loads of character coming through. The tattoos are sick. The weapon is just iconic. All the good skins for Zarya use this weapon model. Like, let's just be so real. It just loses so much charm. Again, it looks fine. It looks fine, but there was just a charm. Rather sleek, complete sleeveless. The baggier nature of it, like, this is too smooth. It's too overly polished. I think it's a big downgrade. I mean, the weapon looks kind of cool, but something about the old one. I don't know. I'm not trying to be negative about all these designs. There are some cool ones. I just do think Zarya lands herself in downgrade because I don't see it as being an improvement or another option to use. So yeah. Alright, we're on to the DPS characters. Ashe. I'm going to unequip the weapon. Okay. Ashe. I love Ashe 1 design a lot. Her outfit looks really cool. It's how I've always pictured Ashe. I don't love the weapon. And I think Overwatch 2, if it had the suit and the tie, would be a lot better. But I really like the weapon. So the trade-off here is I think these are just two good Ashe skins. I prefer Overwatch 1, but I don't think this is a downgrade, but I don't think it's also an improvement. I think it is like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think if Ashe was with Overwatch for an extended amount of time, I think she would end up in something like this instead of the more loose, like, tie with the, I think it would, she would eventually upgrade to something like this. I mean, Bob's basically the same, and the weapon here is really good, so I'll say it's a nice alternative, but I would not say it's a better skin than her first one. Oh, Ashe in Overwatch 1, man, that is Overwatch for some reason. I don't know what, like that is one of the Overwatch skin. Like, I think that's just like such a strong image. I don't know. Overwatch 2 looks very playful and very Bastion like, but this looks so much more gritty and like, oh, that looks like a former war machine. Do you know what I mean? This is like, oh, I'm just a fun little guy. I like the cap and I think it looks cool, but I really just there's something about the way this looks that's... Again, I think this makes sense, and I think this makes a lot of sense. And that's why I'm going to say it's an alternative, because again, I like the cap. But I think this looks, like if we think about it like a time skip, and we think about all the improvement that Bastion would have gone under in Overwatch 2, I think he would start to look a lot friendlier, because he is meant to be friendly. Whereas here, he was more of like the last of his kind that was good. So of course he's like, you know, he's removed the model from him because he doesn't want to be tied to that anymore. Like, I think this makes sense. And that's why I'm going to say alternative. Okay? Okay, this actually might be the most generational, like, fumble of a character. Like, oh my god. Overwatch 2 cast looks so stupid. I'm sorry, man. Look at this. That's the cowboy, I know. That's not a cowboy. That's just a guy with a gun. I don't even need to say much. Just look at that. Just take it in for a second. Just like, oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, that's good. What even did they do to you, man? What did they do to you? They ruined your face as well. You look so stupid. You look so weakened. Ugh. I hate all the Overwatch 2 skins, man. That's a big downgrade. That is a massive fumble. Oh, Genji. Genji's a design people actually seem to really like, but also people seem to like the Overwatch 1 one. I'll take, not a massive fan personally of original Overwatch 1 Genji, especially the weapons. I don't know why. They just come off really flat and boring. I think Overwatch 2 adds a lot more character. I think over the years, Genji would learn to get more comfortable. He would kind of put on this more of his outfit, and he doesn't have the hood in game, which is annoying, but, you know, makes the character more recognizable. And I think the shurikens look better. I like the little curvature. I don't know. I think it looks a little better. I think he looks a little more... It makes a lot of sense. And I think it is a slight improvement. The tier says great improvement, but I would more have put it on the low end of this improvement. So maybe I'll just go like this. Improvement. Right. Why does that not... That doesn't actually... I'll be honest. I think Genji is an improvement. It's improved. On to our next Shamada brother. Overwatch 1 is just... I think it just clears. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not even going to entertain the idea that... I mean, the weapon's cool, but I'm not even going to entertain it. I think this just looks better. I prefer the little dangly bits, the details on here. Like, why? Like, I mean, what did we do? What did we do here? Like, we ruined this guy. Look at all the character that, like, exists on this. The blue. This guy's just... He's not a blue character. He's a like, this is sick. Yeah, that's a fumble. That's bad. I'm not even going to entertain the idea again. Oh, okay. Junkrat. Overwatch 1, I mean, I used to play Junkrat a lot in Overwatch 1, and so this does not mean a lot, but like it is this image evokes a lot of feeling. I think his hair is the biggest problem here. I think this, again, similar to Roadhog, is an alternative and makes sense, but I do wish his hair went up more like that on Lord Fire. And he looks like he's gone from witty explosive man to really dumb stupid character, and I don't like that change. I think he was more of he was an explosive guy and blew things up, but he wasn't dumb. This is like a dumb comedic character. I think it's an alternative, so we'll place it. We'll place it there. That'll do. Okay, this is an odd one. I don't like either of May's designs. I think this is May. This is not May. It just looks odd. Yeah, but it's actually alright. But I don't like this weapon. And I quite like this weapon more, but again, don't like it that much. Does Snowball even change? I don't think so. I think this looks like an upgrade. Not an upgrade, but it looks like it was an upgraded path. I like the fur around there. And the bobby pin, man. Why did we get rid of the pin? Oh, that's like a classic May look. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's not a direct downgrade. I think it is fine. It's passable. It's an alternative. You could use it if you maybe slightly preferred it, but I don't think it ruins May. Do you know what I mean? I think it's fine. This is a similar one to Ash, where I actually do prefer the original Farah. But I see this is fine. I think this is a fine alternative. The weapon looks really good. I like that there's more detail on it. She's shinier, more polished. Looks like she's, actually been a part of Overwatch for a while. But this is just a look I prefer more. I don't know. But I think it's not that different, and you might prefer this, you might prefer the other one. So that is, to me, the definition of an alternative. Okay, so Old Reaper is like a classic look. That, like, do you know what I mean? But I think the weapons are okay. And I think this one, I kind of prefer the way the cloak sits. I like the shoulder pads. I kind of prefer Overwatch 2 Reaper, and I think the weapons look so incredible. I think they look really good. I like the details on them. I'll take off the gold. I think it's just a really good weapon. I mean, just look at that. I think it's an upgrade. Look, I think a lot of people prefer the first Reaper, but I think it's an improvement. I think it's the biggest improvement we've seen so far. So, yeah, I'm doing that one. I mean, this one's so obvious. Look at that. You know, like, again, I'm not even going to say much. Look at it. Cool. This is sick. It's like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Who is this bum and who let him onto the field? Yep, that's a big downgrade for sure. I don't know if this is a hot take among Sombra players or whatever, but good, really good, amazing design. I love it. It's incredible. Even better. And the weapon. It's so good. The little beam coming between it, and it looks so good in gold. It is such a good skin. I think. Like, I might put this one in the highest tier for now, and if I see one that's better, I'll change. But I think this is the best one, without a doubt. I love Overwatch 2 Sombra. I think it's such a good improvement, and I think a lot of the skins that use the Overwatch 2 model are amazing. Symmetra. I love this one. I think this little sashes thing, this little, like, I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. The weapon, it's a bit of an improvement. Do you know what? I came in here to think this would be an alternative. This is so much better. This is, like, actually so much better than Overwatch 1 Sombra. I mean, Symmetra. This is so good. What the hell? That's such an improvement. Low key, I think that's better than the Sombra one. Call me crazy. I'm putting Symmetra here now. I actually think that is the definition of an improvement. So you got a bit more detail, a cooler outfit, the weapon looks better, the colors are nicer. Boom. That is perfect. That is literally perfect. You can't improve more than that. Orb. Just something about the Overwatch 1 design is so, like, again, just that nostalgia. It just sits there, and I think Overwatch 2 loses a bit more charm. He looks like a biker. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. He got bigger. Look at him. Wait. Bro got bigger. He grew. I think it's an alternative. There's not that big of a difference between any of them. They both look the same thing. Just one has a slight bit more detail and is a little brighter. So, yeah. Alright, I think this is also a hot take. A lot of people prefer Overwatch 1 Tracer, and I'll be honest, so do I. But I also think Overwatch 2 Tracer is really, really good. I think it looks great. I think the top here looks really good. Still, I like the flare out here, though, a lot more. Like, that's where she keeps her weapons. I don't know what she does here. I don't know where she keeps her weapons anymore. So that is a bit of a continuity error. But I think the weapons look quite good. Look, I'll be honest, I think the weapons look pretty good. I think like, they're a little thinner, and I prefer these, but I think, again, definition of an alternative. Sometimes I use it, so it has to be an alternative. I think it's okay, although all the Overwatch 1 Tracer skins are just better, so there's that. Is this a hot take? This Widow is so much better. The braid? Fire. The detail? Fire. The weapon is incredible. Look, I'm not going to say much more. I think this is incredibly good. I think this is also perfection. I think this is a direct improvement across everything. It looks so good, the Overwatch 2 Widowmaker skin. Amazing. Just amazing. Just amazing. Well, I do love Overwatch 1 Honor. It's just such a nice... It's just such a... It gives me this little fuzzy feeling. I think Overwatch 2 is fine. I think the gun is a bit worse and a bit too, like, a real sniper look. So I prefer Overwatch 1, but I think this is also, again, the definition of an alternative. Like, I think you could get away with both. I don't really think it matters. Also, whoever made this tier list is clearly an honor main, because it's the only one with a gold gun. Actually, no, they all have gold guns. No, soldier. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just going to say it. Overwatch 1 BAP looks like the Overwatch 2 BAP. Why? Like, no, as in, like, looks like what I thought Overwatch 2 BAP was. This is so much better. How in the hell did they think this would be an improvement? Like, what part of this is an improvement? I can't even, I'm not even going to speak about it anymore. That is such a fumble. That is so bad. That is really bad. Like, that is terrible. Oh, Brig. I think Overwatch 2 is fine. I've always thought it. Overwatch 2 is fine. I like the little symbol on the shoulder plate. I like the way the like, I don't know what to call this little flappy part sits. I think the details are good, and the weapon looks good, and the shield looks good. Everything looks good, but Overwatch 1 Brig is also just a credible design. I think both of these look very good. Okay, but I think this is an improvement. I think it is better. I think this, if I'm saying Genji's an improvement, then I'm saying Brig's an improvement. I think it is a lot better. A lot better. 24 more. Lucy Overwatch 1 clears Overwatch 2 so much. I think there's not even like any contestation there. I don't think we have to talk about it because I don't think anyone's going to disagree. And so you just be listening to me say exactly what you're thinking. Yep, this is an improvement in every way. No, not an improvement in every way. My god, Overwatch 1 is so much better than Overwatch 2. I kind of like both. I think this is an improvement though. I think I like the addition of extra lines and making this like gold here, and I think it just looks a little better, and the staff, and I mean, oh, that is not what I wanted to put on. I like the ponytail, don't get me wrong, but I think she suits the bob more, and I think this staff is good. And yeah, I think this is an improvement over Overwatch 1. That's one of our categories, an improvement, so I think it's an improvement. Okay, I'll be real, I don't think I've ever seen Moira's Overwatch 2 skin. Oh, I prefer the sleeves going under it. Right. This is like literally the most pointless change. What have they even done? Alternative? Like, I mean, what even changed? Okay, I'm going into this last one knowing exactly what I'm going to pick here, but I'll show it off anyway. This is so much better. It's fine, but it's a downgrade. Guys, this is Zen. This is not Zen. Who is this guy? He let this random Omnic into the game. This is Zenyatta. Alright, added a tier for the 3 worst ones, which is, to me, Sigma, Bap, and Hanzo. And then your perfect ones are Widow and Symmetra. And then the rest kind of just fit around there. Let me know what you disagree with. Let me know your favorite Overwatch 2 redesign, your favorite Overwatch 1 skin, la 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 la. Like and subscribe for more. Peace and love. See you on the next one. This took forever.